Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week.
The ocean may conjure images of beautiful waves, shipwrecks, and marine life, but it also contains great mysteries within its depths. While many of these mysteries have been explained by scientists and analysts, there are still quite a few unexplained oceanic enigmas that intrigue us. Strange things happen in the ocean that no one has been able to explain yet. Here are 10 deep-sea anomalies that cannot be explained. Let's begin. Number 10. Baltic Sea Anomaly. This is one of the most bizarre deep-sea finds of the past decade. The discovery occurred in 2011 when a deep-sea exploration team called Oceanic came across an unusual formation 300 feet below the surface off the coast of Sweden. Upon further inspection, divers and surface crew reported malfunctions in their electrical equipment whenever they came within 200 meters of the object, which appeared to be shaped like the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. Looking at sonar imaging, the anomaly showed interesting characteristics that seemed to distinguish it from a natural rock formation. Could it be that aliens have finally arrived, or have they been here the whole time? Number 9. Disappearing Island. Have you ever heard of an island disappearing into thin air? Bermeja, a tiny uninhabited island to the northwest of the Yucatán Peninsula, seems to have done just that. One century, it's sitting pretty in the Gulf of Mexico. The next, it's vanished. Back in the 16th and 17th centuries, Bermeja was a common fixture on maps drawn by Spanish explorers. Its location sometimes varied, but its existence seems certain enough. But in the late 20th century, when researchers tried to find it to put on modern maps, they couldn't find the island anywhere. The traces of it were gone, and it seemed like the island never existed. Theories regarding Bermeja's mysterious fate include that it was a casualty of global warming and rising sea levels, or did an underwater earthquake shake it clean off the radar? Or did the CIA blow it up, as conspiracy theorists suggest, with a view to expanding US sovereignty in the oil-rich Gulf? Well, all these questions are pretty legit, but still the disappearance is a mystery. Number 8. Bloop Sound. Nothing like the mysterious bloop sound recorded in the South Pacific in 1997 had ever been heard before. It was very loud, low frequency, and had a unique pattern that made some think it was a newly discovered creature lurking in the depths. It also didn't help that the sound came from near the location of H.P. Lovecraft's fictional sunken city of Riley, where a creature called Cthulhu is in prison. Researchers continued to look for the origin of the noise for years, until 2005 they announced it had been an ice quake, which occurs when icebergs break off of glaciers. Although the reasoning had been generally accepted, some conspiracy theorists still feel the explanation is a little thin. Also, feel free to check out some less mysterious, but still fascinating facts you never knew about our oceans. Number 7. The Lost City. If you are a fan of Greek mythology, lost cities should not be of any surprise to you. Hint, Atlantis. But as mentioned, this is all fictional, and the idea of an ancient city being buried under the sea remained far-fetched until recently. In 2000, Egyptians finally discovered an underwater city near the Nile River. It was about 1.8 miles into the Mediterranean Sea and about 10 meters below the surface. The city is one of the most prominently mentioned cities by historians. In the Egyptian antiquity records, it was referred to as Thonis, while the Greeks called it Heraclon. Recent historians believe that these were two different cities. In its heydays, the city served as a trading port, with its significance increasing in the late period of ancient Egypt, when it doubled up as a place for tax collection. It's believed that Thonis grew increasingly weak due to earthquakes and tsunamis, along with rising sea levels. This destruction began at the end of the 2nd century, and by the time the 8th century was wrapping up, the city was below the Mediterranean Sea. Number 6. Lake Michigan Stonehenge. Have you ever had that moment where you're looking for something, but you were glad to find it? That's exactly what happened here. While scanning underneath the waters of Lake Michigan for shipwrecks, archaeologists found something a lot more interesting than they bargained for. They discovered a boulder with prehistoric carvings of a mastodon, as well as a series of stones arranged in a Stonehenge-like manner. If you think you've seen this somewhere, you're not wrong. There is a historic site in the UK, but no one expected a similar Stonehenge to be discovered under Lake Michigan. These rocks are believed to be 10,000 years old, and scientists say that these rocks were placed in perfect order by some ancient civilization. Number 5. Shiny Sea Phenomenon. From the name, you can deduce that it is a condition where the sea takes up an unusual milky color. In this case, it is the Indian Ocean that is affected. Scientists say that it occurs because of the action of trillions of bioluminescent bacteria that cause the water to turn blue. The color appears to the naked eye as milky white. This sight has been around for over 4 centuries. When sailors first encountered it in the 1800s, they were mesmerized and had no idea what caused it. They suspected sinister motives and described it as milk from horizon to horizon. Steve Miller, who is a research scientist at Colorado State University, describes this situation as the white whale of satellite remote sensing. His instruments can measure low levels of light, something other sensors could not. Although our understanding of it has been broadened, much is still left unexplained to this day. Researchers have detected them, but there is no concrete evidence of how and why they form. Number 4. Yonaguni Monument. Beneath the coastal waters of the Japanese island of Yonaguni lies a series of mysterious rock formations. Since its discovery nearly 35 years ago, the strangely symmetrical shapes and structures of the Yonaguni Monument have led to fierce debate over its true origins. Could the odd shapes of this structure really have been carved by a lost Japanese civilization many thousands of years ago? Or is it just a stunning example of natural geology deep beneath the sea? Called the Japanese Atlantis, it is assumed by geologists that this was a whole city that was sunk by a huge earthquake some 2,000 years ago. Nearby, other formations are also found, suggesting it's a submerged ancient city. This theory contends that the structures are at least 5,000 years old and belonging to a lost civilization, possibly the legendary Mu or Lemuria, but nothing has been confirmed. What do you think it is? Number 3. Underwater Crop Circle. The underwater crop circle has been a subject of intrigue for many years. It is explained to be a creative demonstration of the pufferfish's quest to find mates. The circle's circumference is over 6 feet and is decorated with shells and some items found at the bottom of the sea. This phenomenon first appeared under the waters of the Japanese island Anami Oshima. Scientists say that the artist is a pufferfish that flaps his fin tirelessly to carve the circular ridges. The female species is then attracted by the ridges and goes to meet the male for mating. The quality of the circle likely determines the female's mate choice, although they've yet to show us how. After mating, the male ceases to own the rings, and when the eggs are hatched, he abandons the nest in search of another one. Now you may be asking, why don't they reuse the same circle? It is said that the male's forceful wooing depletes the sea of its fine sand, which is necessary for egg rearing. There's still more to this circle than meets the eye though, but trust us to keep you updated when there's new information. Number 2. The Lost City of Cuba. A group of pyramid structures were found just off the coast of Cuba, along with other shapes that make it look like a sunken city. Researchers estimated that they are around 6,000 years old. Offshore engineers Paulina Zalitsky, her husband Paul Wenswig, and her son Ernesto Tepans found the structures using sophisticated sonar and videotape devices. Some structures within the complex were as long as 400 meters wide and as high as 40 meters. Some were sitting on top of each other. They show very distinct shapes and symmetrical designs of a non-natural kind. The researchers showed them to scientists in Cuba, the US, and elsewhere, and nobody has suggested they were natural. I would hate to say that they discovered the lost city of Atlantis, but that's what some are saying. The truth is though that there are many places that get lost to the tides of time, so while this could be it, we just don't know yet. Number 1. Sea Melody. Whales are magnificent creatures. The blue whale is the all-time record holder of being the biggest animal ever. In addition to that, the blue whale is also known for its screeching sound that is pretty annoying to humans. However, in the 1960s, scientists discovered that this is actually a melody in whale's language. Yes, you heard that right. What might seem as an annoying scream is actually the singing of this beautiful creature. The ocean is a vast open space, so to communicate underwater, it's best that your message travels far. Sound travels 4 times faster in water than in air, so many animals use this to their advantage. The blue whale is particularly famous for its melodious songs that echo in a hauntingly beautiful manner. The singing may serve as more than a recreational pastime, and perhaps serves as a way to communicate with other whales many miles away. It might sound like screeching to us, but in reality, it's a melody that is pretty rare in the animal kingdom. So, which one of these deep sea anomalies can you explain? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.